Well, hello and welcome today. I'm here with Zineb Iotti from Zurich, who is an ACBA recipient with us and also a participant in the Business Analyst Blueprint. And I'm really excited to learn more about her story. What I know is she started before she was a business analyst, and then she got a very exciting opportunity to move into a BA role last year. And so I'm excited to hear more all about it. And so welcome.
Thank you very much, Laura. Thanks for inviting me.
Yes, very excited to have you here. So just, can you share a little bit about where you were at in your career before you started with us in the Blueprint?
You say it, and it's sure I wasn't BA. I didn't know about the BA at all. When I started, I was senior underwriting assistant. I worked for an insurance company, and for when I started, I have worked with them for 13 years.
Wow.
But I felt that I was in a situation where there is stagnation. I was ready to do something else, but I didn't find any opportunity open for me inside of the company. And that time I was decided I need to do something else. And I started looking for jobs outside, and really by chance, I saw a job ads with one of the biggest consultant, looking for business analysts for the domain I work for. And then I was amazed. I said, I know that this is my work. I know, and this is my work. I know everything, but what is business analyst? And then I really read the requirement for the job, and I said to myself, this is good for me. But I didn't know some of the tasks that are required there, with words like gathering requirements, specifications, process mapping. I can't imagine what is, but how to do it. All the relationship with the others and the communication with the others. There, I said, okay, it's me. I know I like to speak to the others. It's not a problem. So I applied. It didn't work for sure, because I wasn't a business analyst. But then I said to myself, there is a job that they need my skills now, but I don't have what they need also. So I have to do some efforts and build some skills. And I did some research on the internet about the business analysts. And by chance, again, I come across your organization. That was the...
Yeah, that's quite a journey.
Exactly.
Yeah, and how so many people find like this is the role that's like I'm really excited about and well suited for, but there's like this gap in the skill set or even the terminology, right? There's a lot of terminology in the business analyst role for sure. So can you talk a little bit about your decision to join the Business Analyst Blueprint program specifically? Like, did you have any doubts, and what ultimately prompted you to join that program?
Yeah. So as I said, I started looking at the internet about how I can learn the skills for business analysts. So I came across your organization, but I had some doubt, yes, for sure. And I remember I asked one of the colleagues located in the US, I asked, please, could you see if this organization is serious and accountable? So I waited 1 week or more for her answer. She didn't answer. Then in the meantime, I was reading your blogs, your articles. I watched the videos, and really I was amazed. The content resonate with me. I found it serious, and I said, here, I'm going to apply. And I signed up, but first for the masterclass. I started with the masterclass, yeah. So first thing I did, but as soon as I finished the masterclass, I started the blueprint, yeah.
That's right. I remember that now. It was quite back to back for you, right? The timing just worked out. Yeah. Very cool. And so what ultimately prompted you to join? Like, what were you looking for out of the program?
So, as I said, I was new for everything. And when I did the masterclass, so it wasn't easy for me to understand everything. It was a hard time to learn. I spent too many time reading and reading again, twice, third time reading and reading, and but I managed to do it. And afterward, also I could also join the blueprint.
Yeah, and so does any particular module or component of that program stand out to you?
Yeah, it was amazing. With the blueprint, it was the use case and the wireframe. I remember, I think for the process mapping, it went well, but I get stuck with the use case and the wireframe, I remember. And my instructor was Alexandra, and she was trying hard also to push me, because when I worked on the workbook, I think I went in the wrong way first time with this model. And she noticed it, and she got in contact with me saying, no, it's not wrong, we have to work it again. I was upset because it was the holiday. But she tried to explain me where is the problems and what shall I do. So I did rework my workbook, and really I appreciate all the work and effort she did with me to understand, to complete it successfully. So yeah, I'm grateful to her, and I appreciate all what she did with me.
Yeah, and I mean, that is one of the things about our instructors, is they really do care. Like, all of them care, right? Alexandra was your instructor, but and they want to see you. They wanted to see you succeed.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I had the same experience with Disha also for the master class. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's not uncommon to kind of, I mean, that's part of why the instructor support is so important too, is like when a concept is so new, to kind of get off track a little bit and need that redirection. And I think there's more learning in the rework, even though the rework is incredibly painful. Like, it can be really painful, right? But that's where the real learning happens, for sure.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And here we see your excellence.
Yeah.
The excellence of your instructor.
Yeah. And of you to persevere through that. So yeah, that's pretty awesome. So I know that English is it your second language or your third language? Because you're like multilingual, right?
Yes. So my mother language is Arabic. My second language is French. And I don't know if the English is third or the fourth, because I speak also German. So
all right,
I can say it's the third. It's the third.
Okay.
It's the third because I started to learn English before German. Yeah.
Okay, and I would be interested to hear and to share with others considering the program too. Like, we've talked a little bit about this, but some of the success strategies that you used with English not being your primary language, right? Because obviously it is a course in English, and I think that created another layer of challenge. Yeah,
exactly. It was challenging. I said the master class for me, it was challenging because everything was new, the vocabulary. I had, as I said, I had to read the material once, twice, 3 times. And every time also I was noting the vocabulary, and sometimes also watching videos about the one vocabulary, like functional specifications. What is this? I couldn't, in my dictionary, I couldn't found it. What is this? So I had to watch some videos to understand. So it's the language adapt the challenge, but the hard work also pay off.
Yeah.
And as I said, also the excellence and the skills of the instructors helped me too much. Yeah.
Awesome. So let's talk about, because I know you started not in a BA role, you told us about being in underwriting, but now you are in a business analyst role. So how did that role come to be? How did your blueprint coursework play into that? What was the path? I just want to hear more about it and be able to celebrate that success with you as well. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
But Laura, I'm not a business analyst.
By title, right?
But kind of.
Yeah.
Exactly. Everything I learned, I apply it now. Although I am not, my title is not a business analyst. I get a position like my position now, new position is a transformation manager.
Yeah,
so
I actually think that's a way cooler title than business analyst. Transformation manager, you said, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I use the techniques I learned. I use everything. It opened what I learned with you and with the programs. It opened the mind of thinking, analyzing, matching things before deciding, solving problem. It was in my skills before, solving problem. I like to analyze figures and things like that. But when I did the program also, it's reinforced the skills. And today I'm using everything I learned. So in my position today, because we have a system migration. So I'm working with some task for this solving problem created by this migration. So we need the process mapping also is something that I'm doing today. I didn't do it myself, but I work in group with other people. Their function is the process modeling, but they came to me to help them. And as soon as I read the process, I see that there is gaps here or errors here, and without following your program, I can't do this. Yeah.
Yeah. So it sounds like you're making a huge impact. What do you like most about this new role?
Various tasks and no routine, helping the others. There's some challenges, and I can do my work without analyzing things. So this is the most thing I was looking for. That I needed really work where I can think, analyze, and then solve a problem. So it matched with the business analyst. Yeah.
Yeah. And you are, if I recall, you're working in a German-speaking company now, right?
Because I'm sitting in Switzerland, so we speak German. Right. Locally, but I work for an international group, so team. So with the team we speak English, but I still work for the French company. So I help also others speaking as I speak French also. Yeah.
That's dizzying to me. And have you found, because we get this question a lot, and me being, American, English-based speaker, don't have personal experience in it, but how have you found the business analysis processes to apply in all those different cultures? Like, are there variances to it, or are you able to apply the same kinds of techniques?
I think this is the same. Now is the same because we work with the objective of standardization. So now we see I worked with other colleagues to map processes from 4 countries, but we have to do it in the same tool, in the same manner. So there is no differences. Yeah. In the model, but still the work we can see some differences in the way the people process the work.
That makes sense. Yeah. And how did this opportunity actually come to be? Because I know, like, you took the blueprint and then it was there's some space and then the opportunity came up, right? So can you kind of walk us through that a little bit more? Yeah.
So when I started, I think when I started the master class, I asked that I join with a project team working just for 20% of my time work. I could get this opportunity, and I started to help one project team like I was an SME. And it took 2 years doing this, but when I get the certificate for the blueprint, I took contact with the project manager here in Switzerland, and I explained my objective, my goals, and I explained what I did. And I speak up. I was clear. I said, so I would like to join your team. It wasn't easy because, in every company, if there is a budget for onboarding new member or not, it took some time. But as soon as the opportunity was open and he could have the budget, they called me and I started. Yeah.
Okay.
But in between, before the decision came up, I got 2 interviews. So, but I was frustrated waiting for the decision to come. But, yeah. So,
and then really excited when it happened, right? Yes. Yeah. So last question. Thank you so much for your time and for sharing so generously. So last question I have for you is, what would you recommend to people who are in that stage and looking to follow in your footsteps, right? So they might be in a role that they felt like was limiting and that they were stuck in, and they were a little frustrated that things weren't happening more quickly, right? And what would you recommend to them?
What I can recommend is that if someone feel like me, the desire to evolve in their career, they have to do it. They have to do it, but they have to invest in themselves. I will recommend and advise that people, they don't need to wait till the employer, the organization they work for, pay for their development, because it can happen, and it might be that they have no budget. And this is what happened with me. So I didn't ask because I knew that nobody will invest in my education or in my development. I did it alone. I invest in myself. And as you see, it paid off. So everyone, if someone choose the path for becoming a business analyst, and I can just recommend invest in yourself if you don't have the support from your employer. The second thing I can say also that I recommend this your organization, your courses to everyone, because they are hands-on courses. It's not just abstract or theory. It's a practical. When we finish, we know what to do if we are business analysts. And the second thing is it's a framework. The course is a framework to follow if you would like to work like a business analyst, and it gives everyone tools to use. You are not empty. You have really backup with the tools.
That's awesome. Yes, and I just want to celebrate and honor the investment that you made in yourself too. So you made the choice and then you followed through, and I'm so excited to see where you're at today and to hear you have that really amazing title of transformation manager, which is still a business analyst. I still feel of it as a business analyst, but and probably more, right? And more. So very cool. Well, congratulations, and thank you so much for sharing your story.
Thank you very much. Thanks to you. I'm grateful to what I learned with you.
Thank you.
I'm grateful to you. Yeah.